Hi Hugh, so this is a special little video for you to show you this Andesite machine that I got up and running. So there's a couple of things to show. Obviously, first of all, I made it in creative and then used the schematic cannon. It's actually very easy to use. I really like it a lot. So one of the most important things to know is you need 2 flint, 1 gravel, and 100 millibuckets of lava to make andesite. And then you just stamp it in the stamp. I'm going to turn this off. So I knew with the 4 we had, like, obviously we'd have to expand it. I would even say we need to expand this a bit more, but that's no big deal. It's basically just a matter of getting more cauldrons and then more dripstone. Cauldrons are so cheap with the iron farm, and then just more lava. But of course this thing literally produces lava, so it can just expand itself in terms of lava there. At the top, of course, waterlogged drills flow in, and then lava flows on top of them. It spawns stone. They get mined, and then they get dropped. 2 of them get dropped into a millstone here. The other just gets put into a hopper. I'll see if I can get a good angle on this. So the 2 that go into a millstone, right? They're gravel. It's gravel here, and then it's gravel here. But it's just a cobblestone here because it didn't get milled. And so the gravel here gets sent down and milled again, and this turns into a flint. And this here is the same, it turns into a flint here. But this one here, it only mills it once, so this goes from cobblestone, gets milled into gravel, and then goes into the basin. So you have here then in the basin, it will deposit at the same time, because keep in mind it's all running on the same RPM. They're all mined at the same time, and then it takes the same amount of time to mill them. Now, the reason why there's 1 gravel in here is because if you imagine the gravel is basically 1 step ahead, because the flint has to be milled twice, whereas the gravel only gets milled once. So the whole system is 1 gravel ahead of itself, basically. But it doesn't matter, because what's going to happen next is it's going to input 2 flint and 1 more gravel. So you'll have 2 gravel and 2 flint. And then, of course, it consumes 1 gravel and 2 flint and 100 millibucks of lava. So then you end up with 1 gravel left. But that's no big deal. There was a big problem when I was trying to design it myself, where I was getting way too much gravel or way too much flint. And a basin can only contain 16 items. So if you get like 15 gravel, well then you can't put in any more flint. You can't make any more, and then the system shuts down. Oh, it just made some lava there. So this is a good time to talk about the lava farm. So literally it's just pipes, fluid pipes. You don't need any heat. There's no like heat sensitive pipes or anything. And then this is a mechanical pump. I thought I would have to have mechanical pumps on every one of them, like coming out of the cauldrons, but actually no, you just need 1 in the whole pipe system to create suction. And this is running at the regular. I didn't change with any gear ratios the RPM of this, so this is just running off basically the windmill RPM, and 6 RPM is actually fast enough to keep up with the stamper. So if you look at these are at 48 RPM. So the milling and mining is run at 48 RPM. If you remember, we were talking about how if you go up to 52, it starts spawning cobblestone everywhere, whereas 48 doesn't. So that's a good speed for that. But it actually is able to pump in here. It's able to pump in 100 millibuckets in between the time it takes to stamp it. So in other words, it can get 100 in between the time it takes for the gravel or whatever to move all the way down through the system. So if I turn it on, just to clutch on the milling mechanism, because you kind of want the lava running the whole time, because these are always going to be empty. Like that's getting pumped in right now, because you always want to be able to fill up on lava and kind of backlog the system with lava. Whereas I have a fear that if ever it runs out of lava, it might be able to put like too much gravel in just by 1 even, and then the whole system will break and we'll have to, you know, clear it out and declog it, and that's a pain in the ass if that happens all the time. So ideally you would just run it when you want to make andesite, when you need andesite, because it is quite quick. It is actually very quick. So I'll let that run. This is the andesite I've already made. Literally, this has been like 5 minutes of it running, and it's made like a stack. So it's literally if you need andesite, you switch it on, and it'll just make it for you. Then, this cool thing where if you have a basin dropping into a chute, it has this nice animation. We hear the kind of ding, and then it drops in there. I think that's very satisfying. And then if I look here, you'll see it'll tick down 100 millibuckets in between stamps. So if it wasn't able to get 100 millibuckets into the basin, now it can store a whole bucket, 1,000 millibuckets in here, but if it was lagging behind, eventually it would run out of lava, and that would be a problem because it wouldn't be consuming the flint and gravel as fast as they were being produced. So it's very important that this is pumped in at a fast enough speed, and it's just about a fast enough speed at 6 RPM. So I was going to put a rotational speed controller to increase this, because I figured I would need to, but I don't need to, so it's okay. Yeah, great system. I'm going to go to bed now.